This video is brought to you by Skillshare.
So miking up a guitar amp or just a cabinet is supposedly a very easy task. When I see a guitar tech or a sound engineer do this, they always just point an SM57 at the amp and it sounds pretty good. So when I started to record guitars on my own, I did that. I just pointed an SM57 at the speaker cone and it sounded pretty bad actually. I know for a fact that I just gave up too soon and I've just moved over to using a load box like a Torpedo Live and stuff like that, and I got great results from the beginning using those. But around a year ago I moved into a proper studio, so I was able to play loud again and I wanted to practice my miking skills, so I was actually able to do it without using a load box. So my first tip here is just to never give up. Move around a lot with the mic, experiment a lot. There will be a position where you get good sounds. I can almost promise you that. If I'm doing the traditional close miking, I'm using a Lewitt MTP 440, which is very similar to the SM57. It has a tad more low end, so I prefer the MTP 440, but you can use a SM57 if that's what you got. So that's what I basically did. I just experimented a lot, moving the mic from side to side, putting it at an angle. Everything you will do here will change the sound, so you just need to experiment a lot. But still, when I found a good position for the mic, I felt that something was lacking. The sound that you get is very direct and dry, and this might be good for certain types of music, but to me it doesn't necessarily sound like the guitar sound that I'm hearing standing close to the amp or being in a room with an amp. So I talked to a producer and engineer that I know, and he recommended me to pull a bit back from the amp, from the speaker itself. And he also told me that I should consider adding a ribbon microphone putting next to my MTP 440. You have a few options when it comes to ribbon microphones. The most common one is the Royer 121, which is used on a lot of different records. I went for the Beyer Dynamic M160 as it is a bit cheaper. And here is basically what I do. I use a soda bottle that I have in my studio. I actually have quite a few of them. And I just use that bottle to measure out a certain distance from the amp, from the speaker. And then I place my dynamic mic, my MTP 440 at that distance. You could do this with just the dynamic microphone. I think it's a bit thin sounding, so I definitely feel that for me, I want to add the ribbon mic as well. So I just placed them with a tiny bit of gap from each other. They are at the exact same distance from the speaker, using the bottle again on both, so they are not out of phase.
Thanks a lot to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. For those of you who don't know, Skillshare is an online learning platform which has thousands of classes covering many different topics. I recently heard that it's a myth that you need to be really young to learn a new skill, which means it's never too late to learn something completely new or to improve a skill you already have. If you are uncertain about what's next, a creative challenge or productivity class may offer a helpful structure for setting small goals and feeling a fulfilling sense of accomplishment. Spontaneous acts of creativity may help break up the routine of a day spent indoors. Explore workshops, classes, and more. Myself, I've taken a class on how to set up my guitars better, I've improved my soldering skills, and I've been learning a lot about mixing. Everything very useful to both my business and to my hobbies. It's curated specifically for learning, meaning there are no ads and they are always launching new premium classes, so you can stay focused and follow wherever your creativity takes you. And it's less than $10 a month with an annual subscription. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a 2-month free trial of premium membership so you can explore your creativity. So is the sound drastically different from just using a close mic, like right next to the speaker? No, but it adds something. It adds a feeling of room and a fuller sound, sort of. I think it makes so it sounds more how it sounds in the room, and that's how we are used to listening to our guitar sound. That's how we adjust it, and that's how we know it. So it makes sense to also have that on the recording. Then again, you need to see what sort of music, what situation you are in when you are recording. Are you doing some tight metal? Then I would consider going back in and being close to the speaker once again. But yeah, going back to one of the first things that I said in this video, you need to experiment a lot when it comes to miking. Do at least a couple of days of trials. Maybe you are lucky, more lucky than me, and you're able to find a super good tone from the beginning, maybe after getting some tips here. But try many different positions. Even though you have seen a sound tech doing it like just like that, they have years of experience. That's probably why they are able to do it so fast. Okay, thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. You'll find a link down below. Hope to see you in my next video. Bye.